Alright, so we can head back there. Okay, so we have the tongs now, so let's go get that piece of metal out from here.
I should analyze this melted metal.
After it cools down first, might want to put it in a really hot bath.
These one.
Can we not take these home with us? They probably belong to the archaeologist guy. Alright, let's head back first. I want to do some looking through the archives and all that stuff. Effective arrival. Sir Rodney's arrival saved the archaeological research at the baths. I don't think those two clues are connected.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Stop sitting on your ass. Alright, let's check the archives. Sir Rodney's draft. Probably be something in the newspapers, right? 1893. Pencliff's mummy. The great excavation in Assassin has taken over 3 years. Sir Rodney Bencliffe directed the archaeological work. A mummy was found with an inoculated eye and posed in an unusual position. The right hand was tensed as if reaching out for something or someone. The mummy was buried upright. She has been named the Desperate Mummy due to her very peculiar characteristics. Nearby could be read by Latin, "By the eye, he was punished for what he saw, what he was not worthy." The mummy is believed to be a Roman rather than Egyptian, as some symbols found in the tomb are in common with the Mithric mysteries.
Here it is.
By the eye he was punished, for he saw that he was not worthy. Dreadful.
The body was situated the same way as that mummy. So it's kind of pointing towards the archaeologist a little bit now. So we can analyze the dirt, the blood, and the metal. Oh god, we're doing this again. Let's start with the dirt. Ugh. Oh, set focus.
Pyrite, otherwise known as fool's gold.
Fool's gold.
Selenite.
Selenite. White clay particles.
White clay particles. Interesting. According to the color and its composition, I deduce that this sample is white clay. Now, I need to find which area near London this sample belongs to.
White London clay.
The sample of dirt belongs to the White London clay region, located near the city of St. Albans.
So the dead body had dirt in its fingertips with white clay. Fool's gold. Now blood
Let
sample.
us analyze this blood sample.
Ooh, we're doing this again. At least this is easier for me.
This blood has not coagulated well. It seems very liquid. That is strange. Let us see what is inside it. Hydrogen peroxide will bring any foreign matter to the surface. I must take a pipette and place several drops of hydrogen peroxide.
Where's the pipette? Ah. Alright, now apply this gingerly. Keep applying it very gingerly.
Water. This blood is heavily diluted with water.
The blood is diluted with water. That's strange. The only thing watery that could have diluted the blood is the melted ice, maybe? From the champagne cup or whatever it is. They could have used that. But why would somebody, like, dump a bunch of water in with the blood?
This is a piece of metal taken from a brazier. It appears to be silver, but I need to be sure. If it is silver, it will be possible to melt it, since silver's melting point is at around 900 degrees Celsius. Let us compare this sample with a silver penny by testing it with acid.
Ooh,
If
I
it
get to
changes
play.
color to match the result of a reaction with a silver coin, then it is silver.
Ooh. I'll take this, please. Thank you. Acid. Drop the acid. And now drop the acid here.
The reaction is the same red stain. It is silver, Britannia silver quality.
So we found a piece of silver. Why was there some melted silver in the brazier? Well, now we have a lot more questions to be asked. It's definitely a curious case. Very liquid blood and, no? Just a little bit of experimenting never hurts. Whatever clues we can get before we actually interrogate anybody, the better.
Good day to you, Mr. Holmes.
Good day.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes? Ooh, look at all these. Garrows, Pitkins, Buincorns, and Bentcliffs. Hey, who's the guy we were talking to? We were talking to a Mr. Phillips. And who were the... Body of Bentcliff. Yeah, a lot of fingers are being pointed towards Blinkhorn. Maybe he's jealous. Alright, let's start with Bentcliff's belongings since he's the victim. There's his
This
ring.
ring was most likely the one that Sir Rodney wore. He removed it before entering the steam room.
Alright, any interesting engravings?
An Egyptian symbol. It is a very old jewel. I see the join. This ring was repaired, and quite badly too, with silver.
Why on earth would they wear such a ring?
A very pertinent question.
Hold some sort of important value. Extremely old and poorly repaired.
An old and rather dirty coin.
With the numeral 7.
A hand-drawn map.
All of these are dialogue options. Wait, is the map in here? No, it isn't.
Rodney Bentcliff's notebook. It may contain something of interest.
Holy shit, I'm gonna have to absorb a lot of information at once.
The last pages were torn torn out. We must find a way of retrieving Sir Rodney's last lines. Watson, please prevent anyone from entering the room. But first, fetch me a pencil. To begin with, a few strokes of the pencil will be enough. I don't want to damage the traces.
Ooh, we're tampering with evidence. Oh. We're getting a message here.
And then to gently smudge the leftover pencil marks with a handkerchief. I'm sure that Watson won't mind if I use his.
You never want to get your handkerchief messy. Today I almost found it. This date will go down in history.
Mr. Holmes, the coroner... But what are you doing? Tampering with the evidence?
I prefer to make them talk. Today, I almost found it. This date will go down in history. Sir Rodney was about to make an outstanding discovery.
Wonderful.
I could retrieve only the final words. The rest of it is lost. Perhaps the autopsy will assist us in that matter.
I'm not sure that I can allow you to inspect the body now.
I am sure that you must, Constable.
Well...
Yeah, don't get in my way, please. Report from coroner. Right eyeball has been burst, placed to the hilt by a curved-bladed knife. The blade cut through the orbit of the frontal bone, ripping apart of the frontal lobe and the corpus callosum, after which, completing its trajectory in the cerebellum, caused hemorrhagic lesions. All these injuries led directly to the death of the individual. At the upper lobe of the right lung, there's an old injury filled with an amount of mucus and silated debris that may correspond to a chronic infection by elements likely inhaled in a burial chamber, a decaying mummy, for example, or a dried and decomposing food product intended to accompany the deceased to the grave. The remainder of the body does not appear to have been damaged. Fascinating. So we can go check out his autopsy. Oh, Mr. Blinkhorn.
An ordinary pencil.
You don't have much in your little belongings locker at all, do you? Letter from Pitkin. Sir Gregory Pitkin, manager, to Mr. Blinkhorn. Dear sir, the interests that I represent require the situation at the baths to be changed for the better. At the present times, the frigidarium excavations remain under your direction, and yet the works have not progressed. You have failed to find anything of value, and we are unable to make the frigidarium accessible to the public. It's a valuable asset in the recreation of the Roman bath experience. I urge you to complete your work within the next 2 months. You have this remaining time to conclude your archaeological research and to find yourself another workplace. Damn. Well, isn't that suspicious?
When Garrow found Sir Rodney dead, he wiped the blood upon himself. When Garrow...
Drug file.
A file with herbs. Do you know what it is, my dear fellow?
It's the St. John's wort flower, Holmes. It's commonly used as a drug against melancholia. However, an overdosage might lead to a rash or even hallucinations.
So he has some drugs on him. Garrow's using wart powder. It provides strong psychological side effects if misused. Possible he could have been using it and then wiped the blood on himself. It doesn't necessarily make him the killer, though.
A fountain pen with solid gold trim.
Fancy.
Sir Gregory Pitkin's visiting card. An embroidered silk handkerchief.
A fancy fellow. There's a lot of mysterious things at work here. Right now, I don't have a true suspect.
Locked.
feel like it could be any of these folk. I mean, a lot of them are trying to point towards Mr. Garrow, but that makes me immediately want to exclude him from my suspect list, because most obvious isn't always the right choice. Alright, let's examine the body.
According to the coroner, there were no cardiac problems nor lung congestion, but there were traces of fungus, possibly contracted from the Egyptian tombs.
Alright.
The coroner observed no stomach nor liver disease, if we're to accept that Sir Rodney was an occasional drinker and 63 years of age.
What else?
An unusual wound, inflicted by a curved knife, which resulted in instant death, as the coroner's report says.
Now there's the strange thing. I mean, curved knife. We still haven't found it. Maybe it's in the area that caved in on itself. Gee, well, isn't that pleasant? I get to look at buttocks.
Some light bruising caused by a rope. The bruising is in lines. They were caused by a rope around the waist. Sir Rodney was descending somewhere.
So, rope wounds. He was descending down somewhere, probably where he contracted this fungus and shit. Very, very interesting.